Awesome. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jesse Fuchsia. I'm here with Dr. Van Williams this morning for a webinar series that we're hosting here for his team. So, what you guys can expect today is we've got about 25, 30 minutes or so, a conversation here between Dr. Van and I, talking about the real impact that his fund is driving and the real stories of those impact behind the returns that he's driving for his investors. So, Dr. Van, I know you're extremely busy. You were in Europe last week. You're traveling every day out there. I can't thank you enough for taking 30 minutes of your day to jump on with us today. So
Yes. Well, hey, Jesse, I appreciate you having me.
yeah, absolutely, Dr. Van. It's kind of some list of things that I want to introduce to the audience and stuff like that. Your fund does something incredibly special that I've never seen other funds be able to do at the scale and level that you guys do it at. When it comes to driving impact for your residents, where did that all come about? I'm just curious in your life and stuff like that. Why was that such an important thing for you to be able to drive impact?
Great question. Well, I have a doctorate degree in psychology,
Hmm.
and a lot of it comes from, it led me to launch proactive sustainable bonds, but more importantly, I'll just, talk about it from a psychologist investor perspective. I have a doctorate degree
Yeah,
in psychology. And so my degree and my background in psychology growing up, having experienced some Section 8 housing myself, some
yeah,
disadvantages, and that sort of thing, is shaped every aspect of how I approach affordable housing and impact investing. And the psychology background allows me to have the ability to understand not just the properties, but the people behind them and the people that are in them, the residents, from systemic barriers, trauma, housing insecurity, and understanding human behavior and how to implement programs to train all of our managers and all of our properties across the United States.
yeah, that's incredible. And I think what's so special about affordable housing right now in this country is the demand for it. There's like incredible demand for affordable housing that I don't think a whole lot of investors know out there. What have you seen on your end as the demand of affordable housing has kind of increased over the last several years and, more investors have become engaged in the asset?
What we've seen is that the demand for affordable housing. So for us, we're a low income affordable housing fund, impact fund, that we work to make certain that we're 20 to 30% below market rent, including energy
Incredible.
efficiencies and upgrades and updates, things of that
Mhm.
nature. What we've seen in affordable housing is that there are a lot of providers who say that they're affordable housing and maybe only a percentage of their units are. We're low income affordable housing, and we
Mhm.
typically serve those who are 30 to 50% of the AMI and those needing second chance houses
Yeah.
in many of our properties.
Yeah, that's incredible. And something I just want to hit on there, the rents that you guys have 30 to 40% below market rate. I mean, we work with so many syndicators, we work with so many fund managers where
Mhm.
obviously that's not the case. Their
Yes.
job is to drive the rent as high as possible. They don't care about, this or that or the residents or anything. But you guys are able to hit the returns for your investors while keeping those rents at an affordable rate for your tenants. That's just incredible. I think that's such amazing. What's some of the feedback when you go and visit some of these parks, from the residents and stuff like that? I'm curious.
Oh, wow. Time spent with family, a lot of tears, just a lot of emotions. People who
Yeah,
were like had been priced out or who had barriers to obtaining decent quality housing. Maybe they previously had slumlords,
yeah,
or they don't make three times the rent, or
yeah,
they come from social service backgrounds. We work with a lot of social service agencies and program rents.
yeah, absolutely. And I went and visited one of your parks in Las Vegas, or one of your prior ones, I should say. I know you guys have exited it, but I mean, I remember stories there of people, you know, going through some of the worst times in their lives,
Yes.
no job, possibly addicted to drugs and stuff like that. And then when your team came in and cleaned up that park, I don't think people understand. the power behind that to empower the residents to clean up their lives and go on to be incredible and live amazing lives and stuff like that. Do you have any personal stories of that, of people you've talked to either in Orangeburg or maybe some other properties that you guys have done that at?
Yes. So a short case study that we have is a manufactured home park that we had in Orangeburg, South Carolina, that was like about 6 weeks from being condemned, that we were able to acquire from my family office that I was working for at the time.
Yeah.
Mr. Sackley, we went in, and within months we were able to rebuild infrastructure, add clean water systems,
Yeah.
take out dilapidated housing, add cameras, add infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, like literally roads.
Yeah.
We had to do a lot of cleanup, and we were able to provide a considerable amount of low-income, affordable housing and workforce housing that benefited the community. And in that particular property, we were able to do an exit to a social impact REIT, UMH Properties, who have come, and they've taken on the work, and they've added just tremendous value add without increasing rents and keeping everything super affordable, and really establishing and building a community. And we were able to preserve housing for over 300 residents.
That's incredible. Like I've been doing this a while, and I've never heard of somebody being able to do this at the scale that your team can do it at. Quick question. I don't want to back over this real quick, but your first day in Orangeburg, South Carolina, at that property, I mean, 6 weeks away from being condemned, what was your mind like on day one when you stepped into that property? Like, what did you see?
Cleanup. So like in psychology, they talk about stimuli. There was so much work to do, so much stimuli, that immediately was to get busy, and just start the work of repairing, restructuring, and establishing. The key word there is establishing relationships with city, local government officials, with Department of Health, DHEC, South Carolina, to get things in motion and moving, and working with local people to get that done.
Yeah, that's incredible. Again, I just cannot believe. I mean, to go from no clean water to clean water, like you're talking about basic necessities that these people need to live, that your team is coming in and helping them with. I think that's just incredible. I want to talk more about kind of the investor that's out there who might be looking at it like an opportunity like this, Dr. Van.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so many investors that invest, are happy to get great returns and stuff like that. But I think the impact is really what sets your team apart from what they can, supply and what they can do. From a returns perspective, what's kind of some of the historical track record that you guys have hit for investors, and what could be kind of like a expectation that you think they could have? I'm curious.
Yes, and I need to insert a disclaimer here that
Yes,
it's
sir.
not FDIC insured.
Yes, sir.
Read our PPM for more information. No guarantee, targeted returns. We've been able to hit it out the park with 25% year-over-year returns
Wow.
to our investors. And such, we offer 3 different programs. A core bond, a rapid housing bond, like several really great programs for accredited investors. And we've since 2020 returned $7.5 million to investors. And so we're excited about that.
That's incredible. 7.5 million to investors over the last couple of years. That's amazing. All while being able to turn around these parks and improve people's lives and change their lives. That's absolutely amazing. Something I find really interesting about your story, Dr. Van, is the psychology background that you have. You've brought it up multiple times already.
Mm-hmm.
You have a doctorate of psychology. How
Yes.
often do you use that as a fund manager and as a real estate operator on a daily basis? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Every single day, several times a day, in social impact affordable housing. And I'm also a believer, so I'm always praying, and that plays a huge role. For me, I'm Christian. However,
Mhm.
we have an all faith approach. We
Okay.
serve all ethnicities, all backgrounds. And so psychology, we use it every single day. And like I said, it gives me the ability to work with managers, to teach our managers, train them to be empathetic, because we're a social impact, third party verified social impact affordable housing fund. So the psychology just plays a crucial role in that.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, you are the only fund manager I think I know that has a doctorate of psychology. I know a lot of MBAs, a lot of Wharton Business School, and obviously you have that background as well. But just to have the doctorate of psychology, I think is incredible, and it's something unique to your team.
Thank
Um,
you. I appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely. Another interesting part about your background too is your connection with Sam Zell, who, for the people out there who might be listening and watching, Sam Zell is I would describe as the godfather of the modern REIT system. Um, has an incredible book out there. Am I being too subtle? I've read it 100 times. You've probably read it 200 times, Dr. Van. But how is that connection with Sam Zell? And you actually had a personal conversation with him, I think, as well before he passed away. But I'm just curious the impact that's had on your career.
Yeah, so December of 2022, I was introduced to him just, on the kind of like on a fluke. I was talking to someone and I did a press release when we had a huge exit from the park in Orangeburg, South Carolina. We went in for $1.2 million, sold it for $5.2 million, like 3.5 years later, not as a flipper, but to a social impact affordable REIT,
Yeah.
housing REIT, keeping in alignment with our impact investment theses. And so Sam Zell, we were able to meet, and may he rest in peace. And I found out later that he rarely gave personal interviews to anyone. So I was just like, whoa,
Yeah.
just the stars were aligned in that moment. And so I've always admired what Sam Zell once said, in that in real estate, he's known as a grave dancer. Some might see buying and creating value from others' mistakes as exploitation, and it is not. It is him giving neglected or devalued assets new life. And during our meeting, he recoined the phrase grave dancers specifically for proactive, and
Mm.
that we now call them fallen angels, because
Wow.
these are properties that help people. Behind every investment, these are real people, real stories. On our YouTube channel, Proactive Sustainable Bonds, we talk about it. We have some case studies that are available for those who reach out as well. And in my book, my latest book, my second book that came out this month, and I'm also co-author of another book. They're both on Amazon under Canaan Williams, Driving Social Impact Investment. We talk about Noah Properties and that whole strategy of transformation, and using the Sam Zell approach. And let me back up just a little bit. Is that in that same press release I talk about role model as Oprah Winfrey, her approach, and it's
Yeah.
a hybrid of Sam
Mhm.
Zell and Oprah Winfrey's approach to our Noah housing, real estate investment in multifamily, manufactured housing, SRO properties. And we have several case studies. And even in our pipeline, we have other properties that have been featured on the news where people were locked out. They were properties boarded up, water
Yeah.
shut off to low income residents, slums. So uh,
Yeah, I think that's incredible. And something I want to hit on as well, I think that's a good segue, is the accreditations that your guys' team and fund has, whether it's Morningstar, Sustainalytics. Can you just, for the people out there who might not know what those are, Dr. Van, can you just kind of touch on that and why that's so incredible that your team was able to achieve that?
yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you asked that. So Morningstar Sustainalytics, we're only one of two groups globally to have such a published on Sustainalytics
Mhm.
platform as Proactive Realty Group and Santander Bank for affordable housing on the Sustainalytics platform. It's a verification, and it's also a sustainable bond, sustainable finance framework that we've been approved and vetted for
Mhm.
our sustainability practices. In sustainability, with our LEED renovations, the homes that we provide, et cetera, as well as our sustainable below market rents. We also have, we're a signatory now of the PRI. We're a PRI
Mhm.
signatory, Principles for Responsible Investment, as well as we have an impact evaluation score, which is a huge deal. IAS, impact scoring model through Impact Evaluation Lab, further verification, and also Blue Mark Fund ID, which is
Okay.
another verification. We're the only group on the planet with all four of those. And what's important about those designations is, and it's an annual review for us. So backing up a bit. So for Morningstar, we have our 2024 report. We just engage for a 2025 report. And with Morningstar, you can do it every couple of years. However, we decided that we'd go back for 2025 to increase our sustainable finance, sustainable bond framework in the amount that we can raise and be vetted and go through the rigorous process for that. What's important is you have a lot of impact washing. I'm sure the audience has heard of ESG washing. So we've submitted to third-party verification that, hey, we are a legitimate impact fund verified. This is what we do. So for impact investors and those who have intentionality in their investment dollars, whether you're an institutional, a high net worth individual, a family office, that this is what proactive sustainable bonds does. This is what we engage in. These are our practices, and it'll be on an annual basis that we have verifications to prove our impact and that we're 100% affordable throughout our portfolio.
That's incredible. Yeah, I don't think people, and just to double click on a couple of things, like one of two globally, like that is amazing.
Yes.
That is incredible. Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show, like, again, I have several colleagues and high net worth peers who are investing right now, and in like the returns, like there's so many funds out there that can hit, returns for you, but who can have the impact that you guys are having where you're 100% affordable, where you're changing these people's lives, where you're turning the communities around for them, like in Orangeburg and other places in Illinois and Indiana and stuff like that. So I just think that's awesome. We're kind of getting ready to wrap up here in a few minutes, Dr. Van, before we go over some questions. But I just want to be clear to the audience. I talk to you every day, and every day you're in your work clothes. It's not usually where I see you here. Obviously, we're doing a public webinar, so you're in your suit. But usually you're in your work clothes. Usually you're on the property getting after it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's so special because I know fund managers who have never even visited the properties that their fund manages and operates. And every day I see you on the property and work, and I think that's so special. And then the last question I was going to ask was, I think a few weeks ago we were FaceTiming, and you were speaking to one of your residents, and she was asking about getting her home power washed. And you were on it. You were taking care of it. You said, hey, I'll let the property manager know, today to take care of that. How important is that, to have that, relationship with your residents when you're walking your parks and your properties and stuff like that, and you're in your work clothes?
Extremely important. Our residents, we don't refer to them as tenants. They're our residents. It's a community. It's a community building exercise. And we want people to know and understand that they're important. I was having a conversation with someone, it escapes me right now. And we were talking about impact, and they were like, well, why did you choose impact? And I says, I am social impact. I says, that's what I grew up with. That's what God has blessed me to do, is to be concerned and to care about others. And the one thing that sets Proactive apart, aside from the returns, that, we have really great returns, and you've never seen an impact fund like this. If I may say, that focuses on sustainable development goals, number 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. I'm 5.8 million invested into the fund. I'm not a fund manager that, we're going to use OPIM, other people's money, or OPM, excuse me. And that we have current targeted income. So we have a current portfolio that operates, we're signatory. And it's important that there are people behind the investment, that every dollar that comes in for investment is quickly placed in the ground. It's, we're rapid housing. And we're rapid housing without sacrificing our impact.
Yeah, I think that's incredible, the rapid housing piece. I mean, I've invested in deals as well where my money has sat, doing nothing for 6, 9, 12 months, to be honest.
I'm familiar with those funds.
Yeah, but what makes you guys incredible, like you said, the dollars go right into the grounds, right into the community immediately. I mean, that's special. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I wanted to keep this a little bit on the shorter side today, Dr. Van, just because it is, a working day for a lot of people. And we will be sending out this recording for everybody who's watching to our email list. And we'll also be posting it to LinkedIn as well next week. I just want to see if there's any questions, or if anyone has any questions for Dr. Van that I can help facilitate maybe from the audience or anything like that, and then we'll wrap up here for everyone. Awesome. We'll just open it up here for just like 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, I have two quick questions.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely, sir.
yeah, so I'm actually based in the Indianapolis area, and I heard earlier that you said that you had some properties in Indiana. I'd be curious if you could share a bit about, what you've done, kind of just like in my state.
Yes, sir, Mr. Slater, and happy Friday to you. Glad you asked that question. So in Indiana at 121 Fountain View Drive, Indiana, zip code is 46940. If you Google that address, you'll see on the national news, nationwide news, that there's a park, 136 space park, 42 acres. The water was shut off to the residents there. We bought the property. So we took it over November 2024. We closed the deal. We were on title January of 2025. Since then, we've brought in 33 brand new homes that are energy efficient, 2023s, 2024s, 2025s, 2026s, that are energy efficient, low E, affordable housing, low income affordable housing, 3-bedroom, 2 baths for $925 per month. We've even implemented AI water systems. We've taken out approximately 50 dilapidated homes. We've made a lot of improvements. We've done a lot of landscaping, and you're free to go by and look at the property. We have an on-site manager, Mr. Steve. We have Mr. Jeff, who is also there. And we're opening up a community center second week of November. It'll be vacated this month on the 29th of October. And so we're doing a lot there, and we're really proud of that particular property, and we love Indiana. I was just there a couple days ago. As Jesse was saying about the traveling all over, I was in my truck, and so today I'm in Chicago, and for me, it's Chicago's a phenomenal location. We have an office here in Harvey, Illinois, and I'm able to drive there in like 2 hours, 25, 30 minutes. So I'm always in Indiana, and we also have a park in Ohio as well. And we're looking to do more in Indiana, specifically in Peru. So we're in contract for another 114 spaces. And then we were presented just a few days ago with an opportunity to pick up a 200 space park in Indiana.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hope I can visit the property sometime.
Yes. Yeah. 121 Fountain View Drive. And if you reach out to me, I can, give you specific contact information. So when you go through, he can give you a tour and show you the before and afters. Oh, also for you and the audience that's listening, we also have drone footage, and I have before and after videos of what's taking place there. And we'll be doing an updated video in November, sometime, if not the end of this month, beginning of November, to show our progress to date.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. And if I could ask just one more question.
Sure.
Yeah, I know a lot of investors, when it comes to value add properties, they're kind of limited on what they can do financially while still turning a profit. How do you guys have like all these returns and these large distributions while also being able to support your residents, not tenants, but like how is that financially feasible?
Yes, sir. Great question. So I'm invested in the fund, as I stated earlier, personally, 5.8 million. So on properties that until investment comes in, we'll use some bridge financing, bridge debt, investor financing. We also have a nonprofit, Proactive Initiatives, Proactive Impact Foundation, that can assist in some ways on the nonprofit side with like water infrastructure or things of that nature. So that's how we're able to accomplish that. And we do not go in raising rents. Like you see a lot of these webinars or seminars where, mobile homes, go in and raise up the rent, push rents and do all of these things, which displaces people. We don't engage in any of that. So we take our time and we focus on projects. We have other properties that are fully stabilized that help support operations at properties that are non-stabilized or on their way to being stabilized, until more investment comes in.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Williams. This was very informative.
Yes. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we appreciate those were great questions, Slater, and thank you. And we're just about approaching the 30-minute mark here, Dr. Van. So again, for everybody out there listening, we're going to email out this recording. I'll also follow up on LinkedIn and we'll send DMs with the recording to everybody who registered and wasn't able to make the live event. Um, and then the last thing I would, easy ways to reach out and get a hold of you, Dr. Van. Reaching out to you, LinkedIn. Are there other ways that investors, once they watch the recording, or any way else that they should get a hold of you or your team?
Yeah, so a couple phone numbers. So direct is 803-989-8264, 803-989-8264, or 1-800-626-2089. Also, they can email invest@sustainablebonds.com, or they can go into our website, sustainablebonds.com, or socialimpactinvesting.com.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. And, thank you to everybody out there watching. And Dr. Van, again, it is incredible what your team is able to do while hitting these returns for investors out there. I know how busy you are, sir. I know after probably here in the next 30 minutes, you'll be changing out of the suit, back in the work clothes and on the road. So I appreciate you taking 30, 40 minutes today to jump on with us. It means a lot.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the time. I appreciate the audience, and happy Friday to everyone. And I'm very thankful for this time, and I'm very thankful for our investors and the work that we're able to do because of our investors and proactive in social impact, affordable housing. And I'd just like to say that I hope that when people invest, that they're taking their time to be, more intentional in how they invest their dollars.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So awesome. Thank you to everybody out there listening. We'll follow up here via email and other places. And then I think we might have to start doing this once a week, Dr. Van, maybe not once every other week, because it's a lot of fun interviewing you and talking all these stories and stuff. So awesome. Appreciate everybody for jumping on this morning, and we'll follow up soon.
All right. And it'd be great, real quick, Jesse, it'd be great to also do in the field. So like when I'm in the field at different sites and locations, like, I'm in the office today, this is fine. However, I'd really like people to, like I said, they can reach out. We can share videos and other things to see, touch, and feel what it is that we do. And we also have another podcast that we'll be sharing on LinkedIn. Is our podcast with 4-Star Wealth, as we're on the 4-Star Wealth platform as their growth and income offering.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I would love to do one out in the field with you. That'd be pretty cool to be walking through your park live with you. So awesome.
All right. Thank you.